$346.23. That is the cost of an experience that started when I was 14, September 9th, 2014. That is the cost it was to play Destiny from launch until now, assuming you bought expansions as soon as they come out through season passes. Do I regret spending that much money on a video game? God, no. When I was 14, the first time I played Destiny, I was at my grandparents' house with my cousin Caleb, and we found out it came out because I wasn't paying it. I didn't want to buy it. Like, I didn't want to follow it. I was afraid I was going to be disappointed, and we went to a Redbox to rent it just to try it, you know. And we get back, we install it onto his Xbox, and we both play it for a bit. He plays it for a bit, and then I play it. And the first time I felt the controls of that game, I was like, this is it. Like, I played a ton of Halo before this. Halo was really good. I really liked the gunplay, but you combine the gunplay with that fluid movement that it had. Like, for its time, Titanfall was better than it, but very, very fluid movement. And that was the first time I played a first-person shooter in a very long time. I'm like, this is fast. This is fun. The guns feel impactful. And I had to ride in my mom's SUV the way back home because it's about a 2-hour drive from my grandparents, and the entire time I'm thinking about the game, right? Destiny. It was so good. I loved it. So we get back and I like beg my mom. She rents it from Redbox as well, and I have it for like a week. And I like negotiate my way into getting it for Christmas early because, you know, straight A student. So I get Destiny early, and all I'm doing is playing Destiny. This game is so wonderful. And my earliest memory of it is playing through the early levels and just watching YouTube videos whenever I can on how to get legendaries, because I wanted that legendary gear. And I wanted an exotic, and I didn't know how to, so I was looking it up. And the beginning grind of Destiny when it launched was so awful. Like, you would get purple engrams for a bit, and they just wouldn't give you legendaries. It was terrible. They patched that before I had gotten the game, so I didn't get to experience that travesty. And this is going to piss anyone off who played the original Destiny, but the first exotic I got in D1 was the Yalahorn. The Gjallarhorn. Yalahorn, the rocket launcher. The beautiful rocket launcher was the first exotic I got. And I was playing with friend Brian and Eric. There's two Erics, though, but I was playing with my friend Brian and Eric. And Brian, like, grinded the hell out of this game. Like, I played this game a fair bit, but I also played a lot of League of Legends. So, like, I'd play it for, like, 2 days for probably 8 hours, an unhealthy amount. And then I'd play League for the rest of the week. And the first exotic I get's that. So I'm playing this game almost obsessively. Because Destiny is just, it feels good. There's all this stuff to complain about, and you say that, oh, the end game sucks, blah, 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 blah. But the end game in D1, like, yeah, it was a grind, and I might have rose-tinted glasses on this one, but the raids in that game were so wonderful. Like, I remember they were frustrating because, like, I had a high-pitched voice. I'm 14. Of course I do. But I'd go on, like, the looking for group apps and just mention that I have a Yalahorn, and I'm just in instantly. It was wonderful for me. I'd imagine the experience if you were 14, had a high-pitched voice, and couldn't get into a raid group might have been awful, but for me it was really easy. And this group had to, like, I didn't look up any of the mechanics, and this group had to run me through it. And all the mechanics in the first raid, like, once other people had figured it out, it was not bad. It was vaulted glass, I believe. And by far, the best part about D1 for me was the PvP. You can complain about PvP all you want. Like, it has its issues. It's laggy, but I lived somewhere where every game was laggy. What am I talking about? I'd have 100 ping to League of Legends servers, have packet loss. Like, it was just laggy for me everywhere, so I didn't really mind. It was just the reality of my situation. So I played so much Crucible, though, and I wasn't one of those people who like to use, like, the easy weapons, per se. Like, I used shotguns a lot when they were broken, but I really, really, like, tried hard to make other weapons work, so I spent an ungodly amount of time learning how to snipe properly in Destiny. and learning how to use the hand cannons. And once I got the last word, because that was Zur had the last word, and I saw it, and I bought it immediately, like no hesitation. And it was just when I reached a high enough level to buy exotics from Zur, and without a hesitation, I just immediately saw that hand cannon. I was like, that is a cowboy shooter. Give me that immediately. I was in love with it, and I played Warlock, so I'm a Warlock with the last word, and obviously that Warlock stint, as you can tell by my me talking about the cowboy shooter, did not last. There was no way. So I played Warlock because they had Blink. And then a year into Destiny, we're a year in to this fiasco. And I don't remember the exact date that I'm going to look it up right now because I need to know. But so, yeah, pretty much a year into Destiny, they released the Taken King. And once I saw the Void Bow and the Taken King, it was over. I've never switched classes so quick in my life. Like, I went from playing almost exclusively Warlock, like Bad Juju, Obsidian Mind, bombing Warlock constantly, to just playing Void Bow, Hunter, because they had nerfed Blink so far into the ground that I couldn't use it. So no more Blink for me. I was all in on that Hunter. What was it? They had Shade Step turned you invisible or something, and I'd run Shade Step that turned me invisible. I believe it might not have turned you invisible, but I'd run Shade Step, and I don't have the clip of it. If I do have the clip of it, I'll put it up. But I got this thing where I should have died so quick, and I was being one of the disgusting shotgun users I know. Anyone who played Destiny and right when the Taken King came out, you've experienced some glory that is Shade Step plus shotguns. Absolutely wonderful experience, am I right? But I was in love with that game. Like, I may have played a lot of other games. Like, I played a ton of League of Legends, like an unhealthy amount, and I'll make a video on that eventually, but I'm on that Destiny thing right now because of the new DLC that just launched, and I realized how much time I spent playing this game and how much energy I put into it. And I remember there was a raid that happened in between the Taken King and the launch of D1. There was another one, I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember. I know I ran the Taken King raid, and that was from the only good experience I had with the Taken King's raid. Was by far I got with this group, and they needed a sixth because there's one of their friends was out of town or whatever, and they were all they were all like adults, and I was 15 by this point, and they get me in, and they just how's it going, whatever, and they just literally don't even tell me what to do until they have to, and they just run through the raid. We're through in 30 minutes. That was the best experience I've ever had with a raid group, because they just understood, look, we'll take care of the mechanics, you got this. And I loved that. So, I think right after the Taken King launched, I think I played it a lot for 3 months. A ton, an unhealthy amount for 3 months. And then I remember the game dying in my head for some reason. And the crazy thing to me about Destiny is the love started to fade around this point. The gameplay was not fresh to me anymore. I don't know why, but it was just kind of dying out. And then, like clockwork, literally like clockwork, this happened to me every single time. I hadn't played it, and then they announced Rise of Iron. And I'm right back in it. I'm playing Destiny constantly. This game is my go-to. I get home from school, go play Destiny with my boy Eric on repeat. And we do stupid things. One time there's some different public events where things drop from the sky. And he was AFK, so I don't remember what he was doing, but he said he'd be right back, and he wasn't back for a while. So I spent the better part of a half hour just pushing him to where one of the public events spawned, And the comedic timing on this is perfect, but the satellite falls from the sky, and I hear like his mic unmute, and he starts talking, and then it just lands on him, and we both just die laughing. Just experiences like that are just so wonderful, and I haven't had them in any other game really, other than Destiny. Like Destiny is that game, and League of Legends, but we'll get to that on another date. So, Rise of Iron launches, and this DLC, I don't remember a whole lot about it, I'm going to be honest, but I remember like being disappointed almost. Like it was a lot of fun for a bit, but I played Rise of Iron far less than any other DLC. And actually, now that I think about it, the cost I said at the beginning is going to be off because I forgot about that DLC. Damn. Let's add that to the total, the running total. Destiny's such a good game. Like, it's an awful game, but it had some good memories for me. So, Rise of Iron happened. I played, like, whenever Iron Banner came out, I'd go play the hell out of it. But Rise of Iron, to me, was not the best DLC. I don't even remember completing the raid. That was when Siva was introduced, right? Yeah? Yeah, I didn't even complete the raid for that. That was the weakest DLC launch for me, by far. Like, I didn't play it at all. I didn't touch Destiny for damn near a year, and I said I wasn't going to buy D2. This kid saying he's not going to buy Destiny 2, and by this point I'm employed, so there's no way in hell I'm not buying Destiny 2. So, let me restate the total. The running total of how much money I've spent on this game. Okay, so it was $30. So we'll... Wait. Actually. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. Just as expected. So now the actual total of how much I've spent on Destiny is $376.23, including Rise of Iron, which I completely forgot about. So, Rise of Iron had Siva in the weakest raid as far as I'm concerned. Like, it might not be the weakest raid, but I never played through it. And then a year went by and I didn't touch a single... I did not play Destiny once. Like, I played it maybe once or twice at my friend's house, but I didn't touch it. And then, like clockwork, a year goes by. September 6th, 2017, Destiny 2 launches. And I don't know at what point I decided to buy it, but it was damn near instant, because I bought this game twice. And I'm not going to add that to the total, because that's not fair. That's me being a stupid consumer with no bills at the time. But I bought Destiny 2 for my Xbox with the Season Pass instantly. Like, no hesitation, I bought it. And I grinded the living hell out of that game for like 3 weekends. It's all I played was Destiny 2. It's all I did. I'd get home from school, play Destiny 2. If I didn't work, I was playing Destiny 2. And I was employed at this point, so I had money, so like I didn't spend it on microtransactions with this game, but I played the living hell out of Destiny 2. And I don't regret a single second I spent in that game until I reached endgame. The second I reached endgame and I realized there's no weapons to like play the game for, there's nothing to earn. There was no point. There was no god roll guns from D1. This was just like, this is it. This is the rolls. And I played Trials of Osiris, and I was like, everyone at the beginning of that game in Trials, all of them used a Mida multi-tool, and a sidearm, and then like heavy weapons were usually grenade launchers, I believe. Because you just used like an energy weapon and a primary. So they'd use Mida multi-tool, and then there was a sidearm that was 4-shot burst that was so strong. You just like whip it out and just done. I can't roll R's or make any gun noises, so I'm not going to. But you just melt them. That's it. And I really wanted to win, so I played the living hell out of Trials. And I had terrible internet, so I feel bad for people who tried to like play versus me, because that wasn't even fair. I'm gonna be honest, like, that was not fair at all. And then some time goes by, I don't touch it, and they like launch some DLCs, and a lot of things change. I didn't buy the DLCs at first, but finally my friend gets it on PC as well, and he talks me into it, and I buy the DLCs, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, both these DLCs are garbage. I don't even know what they were called. It was like something to do with Osiris, and then the other one. And both of them were like really, really, really garbage. But they fixed some fundamental issues I had with Destiny 2. And I didn't spend a lot of time playing Destiny 2 until a year later, like clockwork, September 4th this time, 2018. And they announced at the beginning of the summer, Cade dies, and that was it. They stole my money. That's successful marketing right there. And I played the living hell out of the Forsaken DLC. I loved Destiny again. I was on fire for this game. It was great. I genuinely loved the weapons they added. The hand cannon, I still use that thing. Ace of Spades is a godsend. And then I like stepped back for a bit because some life shit happened, and I like did a little bit of growing up, and I moved out. And then I heard from a friend that they introduced Last Word into the game. So I start playing it again just to get the last word. And I get the last word, and I go into some Crucible. And I don't know when I got this sniper rifle, but I'm gonna put a clip on screen right now. It's on my YouTube channel already. But this clip, this is a god roll sniper rifle. This sniper rifle is insane. I love it. I don't play Destiny as much as I probably should, but I have like 456 Crucible kills with this sniper rifle. That'll probably increase rapidly over the next coming months as they hit me with it again. They hit me with it. But that's not the point. We'll get back to that in a second. So I played the living hell out of this game, and I was streaming it semi-regularly. And then they did an event that I can't remember the name of because I'm real smart. But in this event, they added armor and a modifier you could activate. The modifier lowered your grenade, super, or some other, I think, melee cooldown. And I was playing a lot of competitive Crucible at the time because I was getting really, really consistent at winning in competitive Crucible. My aim was getting very good. And I loved streaming the game and getting highlight clips, and it was a lot of fun for me. And then they added this thing that allowed you to have like half a second cooldown on skip grenade for almost 2 weeks. And I stopped playing the game, like cold turkey, just stopped touching it, and I like threw it away completely. I did not touch it for the entire summer. Like, after that, I just didn't touch the game. I refused to touch it. It was now awful. And then I make it through the summer, and they announce the game's going free to play. And I'm like, okay, that's weird, but the Forsaken and Shadowkeep DLCs, they're not free to play. Okay, that's respectable. I like where this is going. So, game goes free to play. And my friends start playing it. And they talk me into trying it again. And I touch it, and I immediately see Shadowkeep DLC. And I'm like, I need it. So I bought it. And I'm playing through it again. And this DLC, I'm not sure if I've completed it already, but it seems like story-wise, it's just recycled content, and I'm not going to complain with that. They have separated from Activision, which I think is good. I think Bungie can go do whatever the hell they want with Destiny. The gameplay is solid. It'll always be decent. And I'm playing it again, and I thought to myself, holy hell, Keenan. You have been playing this game for 5 years. That's insane. Like, you've been playing off and on this game for 5 years. How much money have you spent on this? So I started doing the math in my head, and I was like, it's got to be well over $200. There's no way you spent under $200 playing Destiny since 2014. I thought it was 15 at the time, actually. But it was 14 because I got it, like, right at release. There's no way. And I added it up, and I was amazed. And I figured, I want to share this story of someone's experience spending that much money on Destiny. And my overall take on it is Activision milked this game, and Bungie made a wonderful game. Like, nothing about this game truly upsets me because I'm pissed because I love it. Like, if I'm upset at the game, it's because I want it to be better. And I feel that that's a good place for anyone to come from if they feel they care about something. And I deeply care about this game because ultimately, like, Halo is my one of my favorite games of all time, but Destiny is just like a consistent thing that I can come back to, and the gameplay is good. There's people playing it, and if I want to, I can play some PvE or play some PvP. And if I really want to put in like, you know, a month's worth of just messing around in it, I can go do a raid, and that's organized fun potentially, or a hellish nightmare depending on how many people you have on your like group that know how to listen to simple instructions. But I figured I'd just share this story, no cut, just put it out there. So adios. Please like, comment, subscribe, XD. I also stream on twitch.tv/Chief Quinoa. Yeehaw!